In today's video, I'll share some quick tips on sewing leather. First tip when sewing with leather, always pin. I use very small, thin pins, and I always pin within the seam allowance on the very edge. Once you pierce leather fabric or faux leather or pleather, those holes are pretty much there to stay. Another tip would be to make sure when you're top stitching to use a longer stitch length. So I'm using a 3.5 and I'm also using a Teflon foot and I'm using a leather needle. Okay, when I'm hemming leather, I will mark my depth. So here's 1 1/4. My piece of chalk broke. And once I have my depth marked, I turn in on the marking and I will glue, and I use fabric glue. And whenever you're you don't want the glue to be wherever you're going to sew. So I know that I'm going to turn under a 4th and I'm going to sew right on this edge. So I'm going to put my glue in this area. Okay, so I'm going to glue down first this piece, and then I'm going to make a line of glue right above the marking. Okay, and then I'm going to fold that down, and I'm going to do this all the way around. This is going to give me a really crisp kind of a edge to have the leather stay down. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fold this here like this. And then I'm going to sew along the edge. I'm going to fold as I sew because it's leather. I can't pin it. So you're just going to make sure you have the glue, and then you're going to have to press and hold it. And then you're going to do this all the way around. Remember, you don't want glue where you're going to sew. And let me just show you another hem that I've already done. So for this edge, what I did was this was a narrow hem, so you have to fold this in to meet. So when I sewed this down, I put glue on the inner edge and then I sewed on the edge before I rolled it over. So I'm sorry I didn't show you that part, but you can do that and see it looks really good from the outside. I'll have to show you guys that in another video. Okay, so here is where I've placed some glue in here, and I'm just pressing this down. And you can iron on it and smooth everything out once it's dry. As I sew, I'm gonna tuck under 1/4 of an inch. And I'll just tuck under like this as I'm sewing. Okay? And you wanna hold it down. You're not gonna be able to pin it, so you wanna make it as even as possible while you're sewing. But you're just gonna put the glue down and press down the hem, and then you're gonna go to the next part. Head over to my blog or IG at Kim's Couture for more pics.